gross.
I figure I gotta wear it. I gotta get exposure in it.
It's on brand.
Yeah, yeah.
What is Hoot Fuson mean? What is that? Like? It's just like an owl, or?
Yeah, kind of. It's a really stupid nickname.
Hey, this is Ace McCloud here. A lot of my handles are Ace McCloud.
Emo Deaky.
Okay.
So
is that like a sad soccer move? Emo Deaky?
Yeah. Well, that's my nickname from my family is Deaky. So I was an emotional Dominique is what it translates to.
Emo Deaky. Okay.
So no worries.
Right.
So what is Fuson?
Well, okay. So you're a wrestling fan, so you're familiar with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Right.
The patented Woo.
Yeah, the Woo guy.
Woo.
Well, are you also familiar with AJ Styles?
Yeah, he likes Georgia. He's from Georgia. He likes the Bulldogs.
Yeah, for sure. I hate that about him. That's the least likable thing about him.
If anything, I've learned from the Falls Count Anywhere podcast with Youngblood and Manny, that's Youngblood, that's Manny, is the fact that AJ Styles loves the Georgia Bulldogs. From Brandon, fellow Brandon, Youngblood's patented AJ Styles impression. Sorry, go on.
Well, AJ Styles actually does an impression of Ric Flair that he calls the Nature Hoot. And I at a different time in my life would get intoxicated to the point that I would take on this persona as well. Like, I like to think that we shared it. But I would get drunk and do AJ. I would not do a Ric Flair impression. I would do an impression of AJ Styles doing an impression of Ric Flair.
Perfect.
That's awesome. I do an impression of like, I only do 2 impressions in my whole life, really, like, that are like spot on. That and they're both black guys, so I don't feel comfortable doing them a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have it's
never a good time.
Yeah, it's never great. I have
only around Lemaire.
yeah. Lemaire, when Lemaire says, and Lemaire loves them.
Yeah,
so
he asks for them.
It makes me feel better. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. Yeah. It's like a level of I have a black friend that's like, but I have a black friend and he told me this joke.
Right. He's like your Sam Cobb.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But so I totally understand impressions of impressions. But so yeah, I appreciate you being on the show. The Nature Hoot, Brandon Fuson.
Don't call me that.
How about the Natural Kiss, Brandon Fuson?
Oh, I like that.
You may need to change the handle.
Wow. That's like an 80s heel wrestling name.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, which one are you again? What's the name of your the band? Are you guys still doing anything? Are you doing anything over Zoom or anything?
No, we haven't done anything since our last show. Mostly because my lead guitarist won't answer the phone. Yeah, I'm not calling him out. He just doesn't answer the phone. He texts back pretty regularly, but I can't get him nailed down for a conversation. But no, like we just haven't put anything together. Mostly because I haven't put anything together. I've been learning a lot of guitar, so I've been more focused on like putting the music aspect of it in from my end before I'm like, yeah, let's get a band together and do more shows again.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what I'm saying is like, so is it like, what's been like, how'd you put it? Your glass half full. What's been your glass half full thing about the whole like Corona pandemic thing so far? Like I see you do a lot of like live guitar, like you're working on your guitars and stuff like that. So you're learning more. You're taking the time to learn more about that. Has that been the best thing about it so far?
Yeah, I would say that. I've played a lot more guitar. Like just my playing has gotten better. I don't know that I've like really learned or expanded upon anything, but I haven't felt very creative. So it's nice to have some form of art that I can just do and play and don't have to worry about being creative. I can color within the lines and still feel like I'm expressing somehow. So, like between working on it and changing the strings and then just kind of playing, like that's all I've really done and like focused on. I think I've written like maybe 24 jokes at this point. It's a really weird spot to be in this quarantine. But it's nice because I feel I feel fresh from everything. I feel purged of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I feel. I told him because our store is opening in 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but like I feel good. Like I feel rested because my store was able to be closed so that I could actually just chill for I don't know 4 weeks, which is non-existent. Like that doesn't happen in the retail business.
No.
Right. I just think it's I think there's like a whole like I've had like I did a friend of the show Lemaire Lee's show the Feud. I did it online the other night, and in that show it's a show where you support your bad opinions, and I ain't got no shortage of bad opinions, and and one of the ones that the one he introduced me with was the fact that I was explaining to him that I'm kind of pro Rona. I'm standing to profit from this somehow. You know what I mean? Like if all I've given is time, I've been like done nothing but plan, business things. I've been trying to put this together. I've been trying to put I've been working nonstop. Like I haven't stopped since because I was kind of already here anyway. I just had the whole distraction of, like the outside world. But no, once you take that away, once nobody has that, then I got no choice but to try to, get better.
It's an even playing field now.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's the creative equalizer. And
Yeah.
and you're somebody that like, you're still writing jokes, you're still writing songs, you're still working on that stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's why, and that's the thing is like, these have been the go-to people that I've wanted to have on the show. We decided that we wanted to go back to more guest focused shows as much as possible. And there was a very short list of people that we were like, it was easy. You know what I mean? And there was people, and especially during this pandemic, it's been a lot more clear. Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that like the people that I was working with, before are the same people that are working the exact same amount, that are still trying to put stuff out, that are trying to figure out how to adapt, like what's the next step? Not like, okay, well, we can't do this, I guess I'll do that. You're like, we're all at this point where we're like, where are we going next? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I guess that's like, what are you looking forward to the most, do you think? You miss stand-up, right? I miss stand-up.
Yeah, I miss stand-up. I look forward most to stand-up coming back.
Yeah. The church,
and
man.
and like that, I don't know, that's like the real generic answer, but like
Yeah.
I don't do much. I don't feel like I do much to be productive other than stand up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
everything else is a hobby. Everything else is
Yeah.
like of course it adds, but it's like I don't know. Like I'm not I'm not at the level of musicianship where I'm like, oh well, this is also a great thing that I do. I'm like, no, this is something I'm learning. Like there's no payoff for it. Like comedy is the constant payoff.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm looking forward to most is like I'm starting to kind of like I've had an idea for a podcast for like 3 years now. And this time like just in my head is kind of like just churning that like, okay, well, like what do I really want it to be? Like kind of like how you are just like maximizing productivity with the isolation. I'm like just kind of creeping in on like productivity with the isolation.
But you're trying to figure it out. Like you found the puzzle, you're just trying to put it together. Like that's the thing is like that I've had people reach out to me, and there's been like I've expressed it to her. Like there's ways that are like you don't ask me questions like you know what I mean? Like you don't go like, what do you do? Like how do you do this? Like
a lot of people are going.
You're like, how do you do this? Like what were you saying? Yeah, she has a better way to put it. She's my filter. What are they doing?
Well, he's just getting frustrated because obviously a lot of people are now trying to figure out like, do I want to do a podcast or I want to do this?
Right.
Where people are just not even asking him how he is. They're just like, hey, what do you use? How do I do this?
Tell me what you use and how much you pay. And it's like, whoa, what
take
the
me
fuck?
out to dinner. Like I like it just and it just kind of
why do you want to know?
Things have shifted,
you know what I mean? Like
because he's been doing this the whole time. But now it's like, oh, perfect. I'm going to take advantage of what's happening and I'm just going to like throw as much content as possible because there isn't a ton of
You're all,
content out there.
everybody's fucking stuck.
And he's willing, like he wants to help people, but it's just it's funny, like the difference of like.
But no, that's what I was gonna say. He has been somebody who has reached out to me, Brandon. You have been somebody that's reached out to me, but with like specific questions. Do you know what I mean? Like, or even like, or even more of a like, hey, would you like to be a part of this thing? Or like, hey, I like what you do. Do you know what I mean? Like,
with Pat, like
you come about it as a respectful way. And it's also like you were asking these questions before the pandemic. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's
yeah,
like
that too.
Sorry.
But for Pat, he did this all by himself. Like he Googled, he didn't have somebody that he could call and be like, hey, how do I get started with a podcast?
Well, I did have help from Brian Durkin. He helped me. He definitely gave me some helpful info. And
right,
and
but you had to build a relationship with him, and you like that.
Yeah.
So it just kind of feels like, oh, now everybody wants a podcast, and now you're going to come to me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and not that he's saying he's not going to give out information, he will, but it's just kind of funny, like, say hello, how am I doing?
Yeah.
yeah. Try not to just jump on the opportunity,
right?
You know.
Right.
But that's the thing.
Capitalize on the friendship, but focus on what you're capitalizing on.
Yeah. Exactly. Focus on the friendship. Capitalize on the friendship.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that's what I'm saying is like you're somebody that I'm like I was willing to help even before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's the thing.
I appreciate that because I need the help.
Well, but that's what I mean. Is like because I know that you want to put out. You wanted to do this before, and you've been trying to figure it out since before this. Whereas everybody else is like, well, I don't get to do the thing there, so that's it.
This is definitely this is definitely a good push in the direction of what am I not making time for, because now I have time.
Right. And not to mention, I talk about what we use on the podcast. You're not even listening to the podcast.
That is the other thing that he was upset at. Like, I'm talking about it. Like
right.
Like, I put it in the description for the podcast. I talk about it on the podcast. I go like, hey, no, this is weird over Zoom. This is kind of strange, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's all these things of like,
and he's like, Zoom is so useful. Like, I don't know how many times he said Zoom. So if somebody's asking, what do you use to the video? It's like, you can't even just give what I'm putting out there even
like you're a fan. Pretend like you're at least a fan. If you're not going to be a friend, pretend like, hey, man, really loving your content. Ugh, like,
Pat's asking for some respect.
Bitch, I see the views. You know what I mean? Like, but
people don't. When people think of a question, they don't think to ask themselves that question.
Right.
Or like, is there anywhere I could try to find this first?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing of like, whereas I know that you've done that work, and I know that you wouldn't be, you generally, for some reason, like that's the weird thing. Me and you, I consider to be a friend. I consider you a friend. Like I would.
Thank you. I feel the same way.
Oh, look at this bonding happening over the pandemic.
Yeah. Hold on. But I would say that we're friend. We're like, you don't have to. I think, and that maybe that's the point. You're considered such a friend because also I know that you're somebody who would be like, I don't want to put him out. Let me try to do this. Let me try to do that. Like, I don't want to bother people with my questions because my questions are dumb. But a lot of times they're so dumb that they're ungoogleable. I'll go like, how do you do a thing with, you know, and people have to go like, I'll go like, I have this and I have this and I'm trying to do this. Would this work?
Well, and sometimes
like
just
that's a
talking
specific,
it out.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like you just need to, that happens all the time where I'll call my boss and I'm like, I need help. And she's like, okay, tell me what. And then I talk it all out and then I just figure it out for myself. And I'm just like, oh, I guess that's the answer. And she's like, and I said, thanks so much for your help. And she's like, I didn't do anything. I'm like, no, I just needed to.
You listen. Yeah, you were the void.
Right. I just need to listen to myself talk.
The void.
And I do it sometimes with Pat, but he really just could give two shits. So
no,
it's not as helpful.
I give 3. Oftentimes I give at least 3 shits minimum.
Yeah, well, it's different. I feel like your boss is there to problem solve, right?
Yeah.
But it's different when your partner becomes the void, because like they are not there to problem solve. Like for you, I'm fucking up what I'm trying to say here.
No,
Like,
because
exactly right.
he has done this to me where he's like, you just actually, this is perfect of what we're talking about. You just want me to do the work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I just want to like,
She'll go like, I have this
talk.
problem.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Right.
What
Yeah.
do I do?
That's
And it's
not what
like,
I mean.
I don't fucking know. I don't get paid for
I
that.
just need to talk it out. But thank you, Brandon. I have some insight into it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes
I
sense
mean,
to me.
it's.
So
I
do
mean,
you want to
the
say
thing
anything?
is,
No.
Oh, okay.
no, of course not. Of course not. No, we still won't get that. But yeah, like the thing is, like being the void. Like there are times where it catches, and I'm like, oh yeah, just do this, this, and this. But other times, I'm not here to be that. I'm here as the void. You can talk to me, and I won't judge you. I won't even listen to you. Just talk through your own problem, and if I pick up a frequency and you're really struggling, then if I hear the distress signal, then I've got probably an answer or two.
I have the video game. I have the PlayStation set up here, so I'll be streaming sometimes or playing a game, and I'll have my headphones on and the game volume going through those. And there's times where I'm just like, because I'm like, is she talking to me? I'm like, because I just don't want to. I don't want to be like, I want to make sure that I acknowledge her and that I'm not just sitting here, like, because it's like sitcom-y. Like I know that we would never get to that point where like she's just like I'm gonna fucking leave you because you weren't listening to me.
Right.
But it's still one of those situations where also
I don't
want
to feel guilty. Do you think you're streaming video games too much?
No, not at
okay.
all.
All right.
No, I don't think, because I don't stream that much. Maybe I'm playing them too much, but I got to get good at them because I want to stream more.
Yeah.
You should stream how bad you are at them.
Yes, we do that too.
Yeah,
that's
me.
when I'm playing. It's real bad.
And we were playing Spyro the Dragon for
Spyro.
like Spyro the Dragon the other day, and it was like
Spiral Hand Dragon.
And it took a while. It's funny that she's mocking me when I'm talking about Spyro, but you should see her gameplay.
Oh,
check it out at the Board Georges on Twitch.
Go on Twitch, Board Georges. I'm awful at video games.
But like you said, being the void of being there, like I'd be happy if she. I don't think I could just sit here and ignore what she was talking about. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I want to make sure that she knows that, because that's the thing. Like people don't feel supported or don't feel listened to sometimes. I know how that feels because a lot of times she doesn't listen to me. So she does the classic yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, she'll answer the question and then she'll ask.
But I'm going to therapy to stop that. I'm gonna fix
a step.
Yeah.
I encourage that when people feel like it's necessary. Like I have some form of like formalized opinion.
Like like you've blessed
them. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go for it. It works for some people. Go for it.
Well, we're gonna try.
We do a lot of asking, like, is this a conversation I need to be listening to, or is this for you in our relationship?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Smart. I mean,
that is a good idea.
It's efficient.
Yeah.
And I said that to my boss today.
What?
I just need to vent. I don't need you to fix this. But let me just tell you what's bothering me right now.
Just shut up and let me talk for a little bit.
Clear and concise communication. That's very good.
Oh, man. So much fun.
All the funs.
I enjoy this type of conversation. I enjoy this type of like work. And that's why, and I think it's this that will set you apart from when everything goes back to normal, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But I think like the podcasting and like doing this stuff and putting yourself out there, everyone's like at ground zero. So you can create your own thing. So like I was saying, I think Zoom's going to be the new Netflix, because there's going to be so much entertainment coming out of this, because it's going to be a while before there's concerts and comedy shows. And even, I feel like even when they say, okay, we're clear, people are going to be like, I don't know.
I don't think so. I really don't, because I feel like, I don't know about you, Brandon, but like as soon as places are open back up, I'm fine going right back to normal. I don't give a shit. Even if it was exactly the same as it was before, I don't care. Like,
same. Honestly.
I'm still gonna be cautious.
I would sit arm in arm next to somebody right at a comedy club. I don't give a fuck. I don't need a waitress wearing a mask like Sub-Zero or fucking Scorpion or anything like that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't feel safer with a mask on. I tried it today. don't
I
feel
just don't
safer.
feel judged.
I just smell my fucking coffee.
Yes.
Like I don't want to smell
Yes.
my coffee breath all day. Like it's not pleasant, but it's not life ending. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like it's tyranny quite yet, but it's one of those things of like I don't. If what's the difference of if we all wear masks but we're sitting in the exact same spots as before? Isn't that safer automatically, doctor?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really hung up on like do I need a mask? Should I wear a mask? Like I'm wearing like at this rate, I feel like if I was exposed to it, it was probably pretty early on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I think of myself as I have it and I've been asymptomatic and I've quarantined whatever 14 days and I'm no longer contagious or infectious or whatever to people until I know otherwise.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I'm gonna wear a mask based on a social stigma, and then when nobody's wearing masks again, hopefully I ain't wearing. I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
See,
I feel the same way. Like it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's more. I don't feel more protected. I understand it's to help
Yeah.
the
Not at all.
spread, but I don't feel like it's super necessary. But yeah, definitely socially. Like I don't want to go out and then like people yell at me because I'm not wearing a mask.
I'm the exact opposite. I don't give a fuck socially. That's my thing. It's like I've missed jujitsu so much. I want you to fucking say something to me. Some bitch said something to me in the store today. I was walking. You know how they have the tape? Like I'm brand new to this, by the way. I'm brand new to the tape on the aisle. Like
Yeah,
you
I've
can
been
only
going
go
to the
one
store.
ways and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? There's nobody here. I'm not gonna get a ticket. I need bread. I need that bread on that side over there, but I need to go down this aisle and come back this way. Like, what the fuck is this? It's like
Can I ask you?
What? Go
Can I
ahead.
ask you Can I ask you how you interpret yield signs?
Slow down, check, look both ways, and head out.
Okay. All right. Just curious.
Yield to oncoming traffic. If there's no oncoming traffic, then fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, the tape means yield to social distance.
Right. And if there's nobody there, so I can go. But if there is somebody, I can't go.
No.
No.
You gotta follow.
Because if I
the
get
signs.
halfway, never mind. Either way. So I'm wearing the dumb fucking P90X. I'm wearing I'm wearing I'm walking down the fucking aisle and like I didn't realize, by the way, I was halfway down this whole part, but I'm like, this whole section is supposed to be going that way. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea. I didn't know that side was that way. So I'm trying to fix it and trying to go down, like, just like if
you
you
have
were
to think of it as
if
IKEA.
you're driving downtown and I did. That's what I said. Like eventually I said out loud to myself,
back.
I was like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm in fucking IKEA.
Yes, that is exactly.
I can't get out of here.
Yes.
So I'm walking and this lady goes, I said something like, oh, sorry, excuse me. And she's like, you're excused. And my head snapped back. I was like, oh, come, just say one more word. And I will make you pay for that. I don't give a shit. I
will do the grocery shopping from now on. Do not go to the store.
You can borrow my P90X.
Got it.
See,
really
so you're just at the point where you're like you're willingly.
I don't feel the social.
That's not the word I want.
I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm
you
doing
just
it
want to
because
strangle people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to strangle people to stop the spread.
I'm not looking for exactly. Yeah. If you can't breathe it out, if you can't breathe, right? And if I choke you out,
true.
Then
you're not breathing.
Then there
you can't die from Rona if you die from George.
I'm not looking for conflict. I am just not going out of my way to avoid it either.
You just don't understand social cues.
Yeah.
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 That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all any
You're
kind of social
autistic.
anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you? No. I have not been. What is it called? I almost called prescribed. What is it?
Diagnosed.
That's it.
That's the word.
Yeah. But so I understand. I get it. I'm only doing it because that's the only way I can get in the store.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck otherwise, because if I'm contagious, okay, like if you're at risk, you need to wear a mask.
Yeah.
If I'm contagious and I've lived through it, do you know what I mean? Like whatever happened,
Right.
whatever happened. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about this all the wrong way. And that's why I've spent a lot of time in my house.
Yep.
I've already done the work. I've been washing my hands. I've been staying in the goddamn house. I've been cleaning.
I've been touching my face this whole podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Every time I'm on a Zoom call, I'm just like,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
haven't been outside. I've only been in my house, so I'm fine.
I've trimmed my beard just by yanking hairs out of it. I'm just shaping it little by little.
That could turn into a whole thing. You better watch out for that. That's like a stress thing, right? Isn't
Yeah.
that like
Yeah. I feel pretty anxious all the time. So
so I guess okay, so you've gotten more time to do guitar, play your guitar and stuff like that. What's the thing that so aside from that, what's the first place you'd like to eat? Like what's the first thing, like comedy obviously is the first thing you want to do. Like what's the first thing you want to go be at? Like I know that you love comedy shows and you would love to go to a comedy show, but like what else, like what would you like to do? Like a restaurant? Like is there a place that you would rather like that's been closed that you like to go to? Like for me again,
I think I want to go to a theme park.
Oh.
Yeah.
You could still social distance at a theme park. It'd be difficult. You'd have to say like so many people and at a time.
Like a roller coaster? What about a roller coaster?
Yeah, you could stagger it.
Would they just hose it down in between?
Well, no. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, see,
wear gloves.
But see, that's my thing. Is like what?
But if you're saying it's safe,
at what point are we
open.
safe? At what point are we safe though? Like now we're both wearing fucking masks. We're both wearing gloves, and we still can't be next to each other. We can't still open everything up. You know what I mean? Now it feels like tyranny.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about like waivers too. Like, are we gonna have to sign waivers? Like, if I get Rona,
Yeah.
like,
Wait for
Hershey Park.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I would do that. I would sign that immediately. I go.
Yeah, that sounds ridiculous.
Because that's the thing. It's like, what if I go in here and some weirdo? Like, I don't think you're responsible for me to not get the flu. If I don't want to get the flu,
I won't come here.
I won't come here.
Yeah.
If I'm not scared about it, I'm not gonna come here and go like, I feel safer now that I've signed a waiver. I'm gonna feel safer by saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make sure I wash my hands and I wear a mask or I do whatever. Like, at what point does that come back? I guess. You know what I mean? When are they gonna start bringing
take your own precautions?
Yeah, man. Like what? Like I understand it, but like,
well, there's at this point there's so many people that do feel that way that they can't not do this stay at home stuff. It's crazy how many people are like, this is a conspiracy. This is like, we're going out to the beach. Like, I'm like, can you have a little
Florida? We've heard a lot of news back from Florida that it's not good.
But yeah, I'm just like, just, I don't know. It's just the nice thing to do. Like, even if you think it's fake or whatever, like, it's just,
it's still everybody else is doing it. You gotta
do it.
There's still no choice, you know.
Yeah, this is kind of like people being like, "Nah, we don't want to work in factories to support World War II. We'd rather lose to the Nazis."
Yeah,
like not quite on the same level, but like, but could you imagine this response to that? You know what I mean? Like, no, we don't want to. We don't want you to tell us what jobs you can and can't have. Like,
What's your favorite thing that you've been binge watching a lot? You rewatched anything? Rewatched or binged, or what's your favorite thing that you've seen?
I've started season 2 of Mindhunter finally.
Oh, really?
I love Mindhunter.
Yeah. I'm like 3 episodes in. I've been watching a bunch of Before the 90 Days of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days.
Okay.
Are you guys familiar?
Here, I'll just sit back. You guys can go ahead.
I haven't watched it.
Wait,
but
what's the one that you were watching?
I watched Love is Blind.
Oh, right. Completely different.
I started a little bit of that. That show makes me way too anxious.
Yeah,
I can't do that one. That one bothers me way too much.
Why does it make you anxious? Why?
I don't know. It's a lot of like nobody on that show's really like talking about how they feel. They're talking about how they think they feel.
Yes.
And I don't have time for that. Like I don't have any time for people like that. I don't have time for people that are like it stresses me out. I feel like my aunt is like one of these people, and like I've already grown up around this. Like fucking shut it down.
Yeah.
Just I don't want it. But yeah, so that show stresses me out. But these people on this Before the 90 Days thing. So you watch 90 Day Fiance?
No, I don't. I would. I would totally do it.
Oh, okay.
I have
thought that was.
He won't. He refuses to watch pretty much any reality TV.
No, I've opened up. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
So I have mine that I like. So I have to when he's not around, I have to find time to watch
When I'm
those.
streaming video games too much, that's when she's down there watching her stories.
Yeah. So, but I haven't quite gotten through, but 90 Day Fiance is next on my list.
Did you just write that down? Did you make a note?
No, I just know it.
Oh,
it's been on my mind.
I know.
Okay?
I saw you. She wants to watch it apparently. So
I do.
So that's been
It's
you
floating
like
around.
But
before
I
the
have to
90 days.
Yeah. Before the 90 days is phenomenal, because this is all the people that are trying to figure out if they want to get engaged to do this 90-day fiance process.
Okay.
And I have not watched 90 Day Fiance. I've only watched the before the 90 days. And it's insane. This dude has to travel to like a village in the Amazon.
Is that the guy with no neck?
No, not that guy. I haven't seen that guy yet.
We went to a podcast convention, and so we were just flipping through the TV and we watched one episode, and that was the one episode, and he had no neck, and it was just hilarious.
Guy with no neck. Is that the guy that puts mayonnaise in his hair?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I think he's in season 3. I'm just into season 2.
Okay, gotcha.
But oh man, it's so ridiculous. It's like high stakes online dating. It's not like, okay, I met up with this girl and she says she lives on the other side of town.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go like hook up with her. It's like, okay, I met this girl and she says she's this person and we've talked for like 4 years now, and I'm gonna take a car to the airport and then get on a plane 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 and get off a plane and take a taxi to get on a boat.
And never meeting this person in this whole process, right?
And meet this person and figure out that she speaks Portuguese and I don't. Like,
how did they communicate?
Like, I guess the apps translate everything for them.
Oh, okay.
But like how I don't know. It's not like, oh man, I'm gonna get there and this girl's gonna be like an Eagles fan, like. No, she speaks a totally different language. I have no idea how to talk to her, and I want to marry her. I want her to take an STD and a pregnancy test, and then I want to marry
her. Oh my gosh, how desperate do you have to be to get to that point?
I think very. I think
like
judging by these people, they all seem troubled. All of the spouses. Most of the spouses, like in the foreign countries, seem like they just want to get to America, except for all the dudes. All the dudes are like, no, I'm totally invested in this long distance relationship, man. But all the women are like, what's that?
Do you believe that the men are like, I'm into this? Or do you think?
No, I super do.
Yeah.
They all seem like very genuine. But like all of the foreign women are like, oh yeah, I want to get married so my life can be way better in America. It's like,
oh my
God. I want to marry Paul
illegal?
And live in America.
But isn't that illegal? And they have a TV show about it?
I don't think it's illegal. I think
they're still saying they're in love, right? They're still saying like, no, we've fallen in love. We figured it out.
Yeah, but her intention is like, no, I just want to get to the U.S.
Well, her intention is to get married.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So technically, her intention is to fall in love and get married, not to necessarily to get U.S. citizenship. She's just like, I want to fall in love.
She just knows that her life will be better if she marries an American man.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. All right.
So it's like a loophole. There's got to be some bullshit, but like I would have to assume I can imagine what that producer looks like. Do you know what I mean?
It's
some sleazeball that's just like, no, it'll be cool. Everything's like somebody that's definitely bought a Russian wife, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a TLC show, so there seems to be a lot of learning in it.
Was
like Home Improvement, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Improvement?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I remember a lot of like medical shows.
Yeah.
On TLC.
Wasn't it Teaching Learning Center? Like, isn't that what TLC?
I think it was the Learning Channel.
The Learning
Channel. That's what it was. The Learning Channel.
Yeah.
What are we learning now?
Oh, I am learning a lot about relationships and psychology watching this TV show. I am blown away. Oh man. the way that people will justify their actions, the way that people call other people out for their actions, it all comes down to it usually comes down to like a lack of accountability from one person to to a situation. But then oh man, these white American women are just like batshit insane when it comes to hearing some of these guys like talk about their lives.
Yeah.
Like this dude in England, he played American football, and he's like pretty much always been like single, I guess, or like it sounds like just banging everybody. But this chick from the United States, I think her name is Rachel, so that tells us a lot about what's happening with her already. She flies from the United States to London with a baby to meet this guy.
Oh wow.
A
Yeah,
baby
like an
inside her, or like she like checked it.
with an 8-month-old baby.
Okay.
She checked it like in a dog crate.
To go meet somebody
Yeah,
in
yeah,
another
yeah.
country. Oh my god.
Who she's been dating for like 15 months online. They started dating when this chick was pregnant, and she was like, "Hey, I'm like kind of knocked up, but things aren't going to work out with this guy." And he was like, "Oh, that's cool. Just call me dad."
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a little odd. But then like all the interaction between them is like really genuine and sweet up until he like they're hanging out with his friends and they're like, "Oh yeah, did you know about all the open relationships?" And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I would have like friends with bennies that were like married, and they'd have other friends with bennies." And like, and she's like, "What? Well, how? But." So you cheated on people. And he's like, no. This is how it was set up. This is the arrangement. She's like, so you were.
I agreed that I would cheat on people, and then we started a relationship in which I would continuously cheat on them. It was like an agreement.
Yeah. And so the last I saw, she was struggling to wrap her head around the concept of sleeping around.
So was he asking her to be in an open relationship with him,
No.
or is he saying this is just what I did in the past?
He wasn't asking.
No.
He was saying like, "Oh, by the way, this is how it's going to work," right?
No, he was he was actually like trying to be like fully committed with her.
Okay.
And then she was like asking about his past relationships and decided to get off. But to me, this is the same as like getting mad at me for something I did in a dream.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
this is ridiculous.
Weirded out if he was asking for an open relationship and her being like, "No, I'm not comfortable with that."
Yeah.
But you can't
get
mad if that's also that they did, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I feel like I'm just talking over you guys, and that's not good.
Sorry. I was saying you could judge, like you could judge somebody like that, but like I mean, like there's you can't tell somebody how, like how to process that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like as if somebody told you that, you'd be like, like I guess I wouldn't be mad. I would definitely rethink my situation if I was like.
Because then can you really trust them?
Right, yeah. So you're used to this kind of treatment, but I wouldn't say like, oh, I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm assuming this is the kind of person you are. I would just say like, well, you know that this is not gonna work like that. But she's also coming to a different country
with a baby,
with her brand new baby. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and it's important to note that this relationship started like while she was getting knocked up by this other dude. So like, what's her hang up here? I think if anything, she should be for it.
Yeah, you're right. She
should be like, we totally could bang other people.
And we have been this whole time. Yeah.
This guy, bless you. Sorry. You're good. No, you're cute. I like that.
You're cute.
Yeah. The burps are cute.
I'm glad you think so.
Well, because I can relate. There's I feel like Pat and I live on like adjacent timelines.
Yes.
Like they don't quite follow the same pattern of events, but very, very
not
similar.
To the T, but close, very close, definitely.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong.
Did you shit your pants this morning, or was that yesterday for you?
No, but I have shit my pants during this pandemic.
Okay, that's good. So we're still.
Yeah, we're right there. We're pretty much still eye to
We're-
eye.
yeah, I dig this.
I mean,
If I were to
sorry, go ahead.
no, go on.
Did you shit your pants during this episode? Is that what you're saying? Do you need to go or?
No, no, no. It was this morning. I just needed
really?
to take a shower. Just need to take a shower.
I did it where I
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I was sitting right next to her, right in this chair,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to fart, and it was immediately wet, and I was like, oh, and I just stood up. What did I do?
Well,
Sorry.
no, I think you said like, oh, I have to poop. Like
Yeah.
you farted, and you're like, oh, I gotta poop, and you went downstairs, and then I started playing a game on my phone, and then he came up, and he had gone downstairs, gone to the bathroom, and then showered, and then came back up, and I had no idea until like the next day. And I was like, I didn't know you showered.
And only from the like neck down.
But
too.
he didn't tell me like he'd shit his pants. He was just like, oh,
Right.
go. So I had no idea that this whole thing transpired. Is that how you say it?
It was a whole.
Transpired?
Well, that's one word for it. Diarrheaed.
Diarrheaed. Yeah.
It-
Is that a symptom?
It diarrheaed its ugly head. No, it was just the one
The one time.
misplaced part.
Just the one diarrhea.
Yeah. So what was yours? Yours was just like a misjudged fart as well, or was it like a?
Not really. I do this thing where I try to get the most like bang for my buck out of these farts. You know what I mean? So I'm really like cranking down on them, and at that rate, you're just bound to at some point
Mm-hmm.
push a little
Is
too
this the
much
first
out.
time? Is this the first time that's happened, or is this like a casualty that you're used to this like by this point?
No. This is the first time it's happened this way. Normally I'm like sick, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
oh, this
sneeze
is
and you're like,
oh
oh,
no,
shit.
yeah, no. But this is the first time I've paid this price, so it was
So will you change or no? You're still gonna just.
No, I think just like a meth addict, I'm gonna keep going for it. I don't think this is gonna wreck my teeth nearly as much. I'm just gonna keep ripping the biggest parts I can, no matter what the cost. I think I haven't had a real bad scare yet because like the shower was like 12 feet away from me. It's like having Narcan. Like you just
Yep.
I wasn't in public. I survived very quickly.
You can
Like it's
play with fire.
Yeah. I think there's a risk assessment to it here and there. I got a bidet right at the start of the pandemic too,
Smart.
So smart. I would love one.
yeah, so that's a game changer too. I'm even less scared of shitting my pants because
You're almost
every
looking
time,
for it now.
Yeah, you just want an excuse to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, every time I dump now, the bidet takes a little extra layer out, so I'm less concerned about what's there.
Oh, so there's not even so it goes like in and like scoops more out. It's like a robot arm
well-
that's like a claw machine, but like the worst
no.
claw machine ever.
That would hurt.
No, but if you position yourself right, you can and turn it up on the full blast. It just forces it's.
So you figured out it's not a feature. You figured this out.
I think it should. I think I'm gonna release a line of bidets where this is a feature.
Yeah.
Where it's like
Power
laser
wash.
targeting poo blasting effects.
Poo blasting.
The-
That's
the-
the poo blast.
It's the pooer. It's the instead of a power wash, it's the pooer wash.
Yeah. It sometimes it feels like it takes the paint off the walls in there. It's a little too.
Like you're like, oh my god, I may have to go to the doctor.
Yeah. It's like sandblasting.
Ugh.
But
So
I
wait.
have no more hemorrhoids.
Hey,
That's good.
perfect.
Push them back in. Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So okay, so this is the question. This is a new thing that we've just started doing on the show. Just the last episode in this one, we got this book. It's called If. It's Evelyn McFarland and James Saywell. We got this book at Second and Charles for like a discount or something like that. But it's just a bunch of what if questions, right? So this is
Okay.
episode 115. I went to page 115. There's 4 questions here. You picked number 2.
You didn't know what the question
Okay.
was.
You didn't know what the
you
que-
just picked
No.
number 2 as the number.
So this is your question for this episode, and we'll all answer. We'll answer first, so we'll give you a little bit of time to be able to think of yours. But if you could change the ending to one movie you've seen, which one would it be, and how would you reshoot it? Now, obviously, we're going to give spoiler alerts just in case, but also we don't really give a shit if you haven't seen them because we're only going to really ruin like 3 movies, right?
Right.
So my initial thought is I don't know. Have you ever seen the movie The Mist?
Yes.
The-
No. I
do you
think I'm thinking of The Fog.
The Mist
Yeah.
was the one is the Stephen King one.
Okay.
And then at the, you know what I mean, like all they're
Yeah.
stuck at the grocery store with a bunch of people, and then like
It's the guy from Punisher is the main character.
yeah,
Okay.
His
Thomas
name.
Jane, yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually would say I love the end of
Yeah, I
that
was gonna
movie,
say.
and that's my favorite. That's the only part of that movie that I think is worth it. That movie is if you are stuck in the pandemic right now, watch The Mist. It is a terrible fucking movie, but it has the world's greatest ending of all time. And I would reshoot it in the sense that I would reshoot the movie where it's just that ending over and over again for the same runtime of the entire movie. But as far as like the endings of movies, I know which one you would want to switch.
What?
The
'Cause I can't-
Irishman.
Well, I don't know that I would want to switch it.
The
but
Irishman
it is so
makes
sad.
the Irishman like made the ending of the Irishman made her cry. And she doesn't
Every time.
like to watch it because it makes her sad every time.
Mhm. Like the thought of dying alone,
Right.
and you have children, they just
Like
don't
you have a
want to talk
whole
to you.
family, you have a whole
Yeah.
family, and you're still dying alone on Christmas, like kind of thing. Of like, that's a sad thought, right? Like,
Yeah.
The Irishman.
No.
Exactly.
I'm not very cultured with movies, but like I don't know. Like I this is where I'm cold. Like there are people in my family that I don't want to talk to, and I hope they die sad and alone on Christmas. So
So you're writing movies, baby.
yeah, I'm like, no, this sounds like a happy Christmas to me.
Yeah, I just related to that movie on so many levels that it hits home too much for me.
She worked real close with the mob and everything like
No,
that. She
not
was
like that.
Right.
No,
Very
Daddy
Italian.
issues.
Very Italian
Very
values.
Puerto Rican, not Italian.
Okay.
Same
Really,
thing,
that's fair.
right?
really what's the
Yeah.
difference,
Yeah.
Same thing.
right?
Yeah. They're like I'm gonna say something awful here probably. I'll just skip this.
It's
I just skipped this line.
But I guess maybe I would have. I guess I would have liked to have changed it to that she would at least talk to her dad. Like, but I don't know. I think the ending gives to the story. Like it makes it like, oh, was it all worth it?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say how I would switch an ending. I think I would probably make the ending of Parasite make a little bit more sense. Like it made sense. It wasn't exactly clear.
I think
maybe I might just be dumb.
I think
but,
you're just dumb.
okay.
Did you see Parasite?
No.
Oh, that one's
No. I feel like an awful person. Like I'm so uncultured.
I love movies. I could sit and watch movies.
She'll watch anything.
Anything.
She'll watch.
I love it.
Literally fucking anything.
So I make him. I do make him watch. So I think he would be in the same boat as you.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so this is the movie. This is a movie that you may like. It's on
Okay.
Netflix. That is, I would change the ending. I would change a lot of it, but I would definitely change the ending. But it's called The Platform.
Okay.
And I think I would switch it to. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but I think I would. I wouldn't end it where they ended it.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. And I would give a better conclusion than that.
Okay.
That's what I would
think
to just in case you do watch it.
Yeah, I think that one's a cool one. It is a foreign.
Sorry.
The Platform.
Yeah, it is a foreign film, and it's dubbed, so that does kind of suck, because it doesn't match up. But other than that, I really liked the movie. The ending, yeah, but I think you should watch it. So let's stop talking about it.
All right. Brandon, is there a movie then that you would switch?
You watched? Yeah.
What would you switch if you said,
think-
if this would be a perfect movie except for this, or let's say it's not even didn't ruin it for you, but you were like, oh no, I would have rather seen this.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ending of Rob Zombie's second Halloween movie.
Okay.
I'm a super fan of like the old school like slasher movies. It's like
Uh-huh.
stuff I grew up watching, and I liked Rob Zombie's first Halloween.
I did too.
Because it was kind of like the perfect balance of like a reboot and like a
Mhm.
remake. Like
Yeah,
you know, It wasn't shot for shot, and he kind of did some things within the universe that made sense, but like weren't canon. But then like somewhere halfway through the second Halloween movie he did, it becomes like a Rob Zombie movie, and I don't think I like Rob Zombie movies.
Did you like House
Like
of a Thousand Corpses? And was that his?
yeah, that was his. I still don't think that I've seen it. I think stuff like that I just kind of miss. Like it like I'm in this weird horror bubble where like that's like right outside of it. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I still don't understand all the symbolism at the end of the second Halloween movie. I'm like, why can't you just blow the fucking hospital up again?
Yeah.
Like,
Make
what?
it clear. Make it
Right,
clear.
right.
Like
And
just
see, I love like that's the thing that I love about Ozarks, where Pat gets frustrated that they he's like it's so slow, and then it speeds up at the end. But I love to after a movie talk about it and be like, what did you think of that? Like watching Hereditary. What was the one we just watched that was like in Sweden? Midsummer.
Midsummer, yeah.
Midsummer. Oh,
Okay.
so good.
That's a cool movie.
Loved that movie.
That's a movie that I do want to see. I've like
That was
It's
a
really good.
weird fucking movie, and like
Yeah.
the one like the piece of advice somebody gave me to when they were like, "Oh, you should watch this movie." They were like, "Get really high." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were like, "Watch it. Like you should watch it. Like where like you're like, don't look at your phone, don't do anything else. Like just watch this movie because it's fucking." It's not that it's like a mystery or anything like that, but it's like one of those things of like give yourself. It's like The Shining. Have you seen the sequel? Do you like The Shining, the original Shining movie?
Yes.
Have you seen the sequel, Doctor Sleep?
No.
That's good.
That's another one that like we went to see in theaters because I was excited. Like most people are excited to see like Star Wars movies in theaters, and I love Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. I love a Star Wars movie just as much as the next fucking fat guy, but. but I'm also like I definitely like I was a bigger fan of The Shining probably than Star Wars. Like it was like that was a thing of like as far as like cinema, like as far as like what I wanted to see it at a drive-in because of the movie Twister.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that would be like that was every time of that scene in that movie where the spoiler alert Twister shows up at the drive-in movie theater while they're playing The Shining. I was like, oh, that would be awesome. I mean, not the tornado part, but seeing
that would be terrifying.
The Shining, yeah.
Right.
And then the timing of the tornado, doing it right at the "Here's Johnny" part, like that is beautiful. That's such a vindictive.
It's good writing.
Yeah, that's a no. That was nature. That happened
nature.
naturally. That was the tornado's decision.
They just happened to be filming documentary style.
Exactly. Yeah. See, now you're good.
Right. Okay. I see.
But The Shining was the one that I was like, I wish I could see that in theaters. I would love to see that in theaters. And when they came out with the sequel, Dr. Sleep, with Ewan McGregor playing young Danny Torrance, all grown up, it is good. I think it's really just. I don't know if it's as good. It's really
different.
Hard to say. It's totally
different,
but that's one that's like been out that I feel like that was a cool one to see in theaters.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's one that. So that would be another one that I would suggest.
What's your favorite like horror movie?
Yeah.
I think probably. I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one, is probably the best horror film ever made, start to finish. It's a perfect piece of cinema and horror, and it's on the pedestal. But I think my favorite, like to sit and watch, is anything in the Friday the 13th series.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I love Jason Voorhees as a hero, as a villain. I think some of the characters they created to like combat him were kind of fun too. Like in part 7, they got the chick that does the mind control shit. But I think that's an all-time fave.
I think that's a cool thing too. Did I ever tell you that I was born in Voorhees, New Jersey?
No, that's so interesting. They shot a lot of that Camp Crystal Lake stuff in New Jersey.
Yeah. So it's funny that was like the place.
More bonding.
I was born in Voorhees, New Jersey. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're drawn to Voorhees.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's obvious.
Yeah,
we're drawn to each other.
It's it's got to be some kind of artifact from that terrible Friday the 13th TV series. that draws us together.
There was a
Are
series.
you guys hip to that? Oh yeah,
I
there was a TV show that was not in any real way related to the Friday the 13th movie series,
Mhm.
and it was all about like spooky artifacts or some shit. I don't know. I was
Okay.
trying to make a joke there.
Oh, God, you got me excited. I was like, holy shit! Is there
Yeah.
something else we can watch?
No, there is a video game that I've not played because I don't know.
That's
I've
newer.
either yeah, it came out within like the last like 5 years or so. But I've never played it because I don't know how I feel if I get it and it's not fun, I'll feel like I wasted
Right.
money. But if I get it and it is fun, how am I gonna feel? Yeah,
Yeah.
just like hacking. Like, what do you do for fun? What do you do in your free time? Well, I play a lot of Friday the 13th, the video game.
That's true.
I love killing teenagers and other innocent people.
My
Well, I guess
favorite thing to do.
that is still though it does have that weird like that's like our generation's like kind of like masochistic kind of like video game playing, like they are very violent. I don't know, there's a weird satisfaction because you know it's fake, almost like when you make fun of your friends, like when you make fun of your friends, you know, like I'm not actually hurting their feelings. They know that like we're friends, we're like I don't hate them, but I love
Right.
making them feel like I hate them because I love them so much. Like it's a weird thing of like you don't get that?
No.
No, it's almost like maybe it's like Grand Theft Auto. Like when you
Okay.
go around, like I know it's ridiculous to think like I would never act out any of the stupid things that I do, but it is it's immensely fun just to walk up to a guy that's walking down the sidewalk and punch him to the ground, stomp on him, steal a car, shoot a bazooka at a fucking police helicopter, and then swim until they forget about you. Do you know what I mean? Like that's like it's a ridiculous thing of like if you honestly
Swim until they forget about
that's
you.
one of those things, you get the little stars, and then if you just like, I mean, if you're shooting a bazooka at a police helicopter, they're not going to give up. They're going to
Yeah,
find it.
in real life, swimming until they forget about you is going to Cuba.
Yeah. Have you ever played I think it's Scarface. There's a Scarface.
Yes, I love that video game.
It's the same thing. It's GTA, but it's your.
But in the Scarface universe.
Yeah, and it's like so like you're cutting people up in a fucking bathtub, but it's one of those ridiculous things where it's just fun. You're having a good time slashing people
Yeah.
up, you know? So I totally get it. That's more relating here.
Yeah, no, thanks.
More concern from her, I think,
Yeah.
being stuck at home with me, not
Not
practicing,
doing jujitsu,
not
yeah.
practicing any of the physical assertion that I normally do. But
Mhm.
I guess in closing, how about this? Why don't you tell people where they can find a lot of the creative and fun stuff that you're putting out, and that podcast eventually that you'll be putting out. Do you have do you have any of that stuff worked out, or is it stuff to be continued?
Yeah, no, I have a name. It's Making Friends with Brandon Fuson. Because I don't have a lot of friends. I just try to make friends everywhere I go.
Yeah.
But also I say incredibly like offhanded shit to people, so I think it prevents.
Yeah. You remember
So,
the whole everything that I said this whole episode? Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. That time that we talked about shitting our pants together.
Well, we still have yet to shit. See, that's the thing, that we have something to look forward to in our relationship is when we shit our pants together.
I hope it happens at the club.
Yeah.
Honestly,
We laugh
that's
so
such a
much.
special place.
Yeah. We want to
it's
shit
such
at your
it's such
club.
a special
Kim
place
will
in my
love
heart.
that.
Yeah, somebody asked me one time. They're like, "Oh man, have you banged in the club yet?" And I'm like, "No, that's gross. This place is."
Why would I?
It's a church.
Yeah, it's a church.
Yeah, God lives here. God lives here. This is Jim's house.
Yeah,
Like,
what are you talking about?
but yeah, everything I do, I think, is Hoot Fuson. I think the YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter. I've tried to consolidate everything to just be
Good thing.
Hoot Fuson.
You were saying video games earlier. What's the console? Do you play console, video game, online, whatever? What is it?
Yeah, I own a PlayStation 4 and a Sega Genesis.
Oh, nice.
So get at me on the Genesis.
Is that Hoot Fuson on PS4 on the PS4?
No, It will be. Yeah, I don't have that set up as an account yet,
Oh.
but I have a stupid football account. It was Save Us Romo because I was a big Chris Jericho fan and a big Tony Romo fan at one point. You
Wow.
can you can tell that I got a PlayStation in high school. That was like my first like
Yep.
screen name almost, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. So, but yeah, I'll set up like Hoop Fuson on there, and people will be able to get in touch with me and game together. So
Nice.
Yeah.
You should come on and stream with me sometime at on Twitch. We do at twitch.tv at the underscore board underscore George's Board. I spelled it cleverly because it's a pun. We
yeah,
play
that was nice to see, like
Yeah.
visually. I was like, oh, I get it.
well because we actually we also bought we can play Risk today or maybe Monopoly. Do you want to play something today?
Yeah.
Maybe
We
we'll
have Scooby Doo Monopoly. We're talking about playing.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah, hell yeah.
nice.
Film it and put it on the internet. It's all content, baby.
All content.
At PG Comedian on Instagram, Pat George on Facebook. Check out all the podcasts I produce at and then YouTube channel Baby Mermaid Productions for all the video. That's where you can find the video for this and the video for 6 a.m. podcast and a couple of the other stuff that I do. Wife?
You can follow me on Instagram at wife_George.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm on obviously
Yeah.
GDP and Fort George's, all that fun stuff.
A lot of the stuff that I'm tied to, she is too.
Yep.
And that's I think that's about it. But we love you.
Love you.
Oh, I love you guys.
Gross.